This is not a stream. For a few reasons. One, still sick. And don't know how long I'm actually going to be up for this for. And if I need to step away for longer, just pausing the stream for however, pausing the recording for however long is easier to deal with than if it's actually streaming. There's also YouTube bullshit. Namely, YouTube is actively sabotaging playback in Firefox, such that only 720 and 360 are available as resolutions. It doesn't matter how many resolutions the video actually has, it will only show those two. And claim that all the others aren't there, either because it's not done processing or it actively lies. Or it says that maybe your browser just can't ship. Motherfucker, yes it can. You even click the link and it says, this browser is up to date and blah blah. Yes. So, actively sabotaging it and lying about it. And then, with streams, it won't even show them. It says that they can't be shown, and again, you click through and it says, oh yeah, no, this browser is totally okay. Liar. That includes my own, and it fucks up me being able to do them. I have to do them in Chrome so that I can even see them to know that it's behaving properly. Well, no, maybe that part was working, but definitely playback doesn't. So, I don't want to deal with it. I mean, honestly, I don't want to deal with their bullshit at all. Twitch is having a similar issue. And no, it's not a cookies or a cache or a hardware acceleration issue. In Firefox, Twitch will not acknowledge that streams are live. I have access to the chat, which is active. On the little sidebar on the left, it shows that they're live. But if I'm in it, it shows me whatever their offline screen is and says that there is no stream. So, Twitch, I have to watch in Chrome. And I'm mad about it, because there's no reason for that. It's not like it's not up to date. Firefox, that is. There aren't any browser extensions doing it. It just all of a sudden decided, fuck you, no, we're just not gonna work at all. So, yeah. Not particularly thrilled with either. But yeah, even streams after the fact, when they're just videos, it won't play them back at all in Firefox. So, yeah, no. Both sites are being bullshit in bizarre and fucking suspicious ways. For no clear reason other than, I mean, YouTube is actively sabotaging Firefox in other ways. So it's not really out of character for them to be doing deliberate harm to users and probably creators, and being anti-competitive in the process, because fuck it, they do that anyway. But it's infuriating and exhausting. So I'm just gonna do this, because, hell, even if it ends up I sit here long enough without long breaks that I wouldn't do if I were streaming, I don't want to have to deal with their bullshit. Also, before noon on a Sunday, I don't even know who's awake. Or otherwise available. People usually have other shit to do. It has nothing to do with churches. Have been trying to sort out something new to me to play in my downtime. Because I'm not particularly motivated to play the stuff I've got. This stuff I've already got set up, I'm variably burnt out on. Or there isn't enough to keep me entertained for long enough. Because once, depending on the game, it gets to a stable point with ones that don't have a clear end in mind. Like if I'm playing RimWorld, but I'm not aiming to leave, I get to a point where my colony is stable and there isn't really anything else for me to do. And it doesn't take that long to get to a point where there aren't aspirations I still want to pursue in Sims 4. And that just ends up stagnating because I have to find things for my sim to do. And I run out of things I actually want my sim to do. Fallout 4 I haven't actually done plot, but I'm also entirely not compelled by the plot. So, playing more of that in the way that I have and avoiding plot, and also fussing with the mods I've got in it. It's gotten annoying. And it and Skyrim, being Bethesda games, also have the of course you're being a Bethesda game on top of it, which Starfield, which is fairly new, but also have to play on the lowest video settings, and even then sometimes it decides it wants to have issues, is chock full of Bethesda problems. And bad game design. And either too much explanation or non-existent. So even when you have skills, you don't know how the fuck to use them, because it doesn't tell you anything. So I technically have a save there, but grumbled Bethesda. Also, I only ever play one Bethesda game at a time, because the controls are close enough but not the same that muscle memory for one will fuck up your game for the other. So, no, I learned my lesson. One at a time. So, I have that, but I need to account for needing lots of breaks because Bethesda. So, yeah, this stuff, that's my fallback defaults for something to just sit and play. I don't wanna. So I'm trying to come up with something new to me to fill that gap. As much time as I can dump into Civ 5, and oh boy, can I. It's a game I've already done that with, so while it's stable and, you know, there's a little bit of random between games, unless I try a very different approach to the game than is my default. I'm just beating that zombified horse. Do have plenty of PlayStation and PlayStation 2 games that I could play through RetroArch, but RetroArch is frustrating because the interface is not as simple as I would like it to be. Like if it were just a PlayStation emulator, but the PlayStation emulator that I had stopped working properly, which is why I got RetroArch in the first place when I was whichever of the games that I was gonna play ended up in there. I don't think Lunar was the first one, but it in the second game, figuring out how to swap the fucking discs was a nightmare, so yeah. If using RetroArch was simpler, I would probably grab one of my PlayStation games, because those at least it's been long enough. fuck it. I mean, play FF7 with save states. There are a couple of places in particular where being able to time things just so, and being able to retry until you got it right would be super effective. But there's still the Retroarch is a pain in the ass part. And that is definitely a multi-disc game. So I may go looking again for just a PlayStation emulator, so I can play those games with fewer hiccups. Potentially. I mean, if I find a single disc game, it's not... Once I'm into it, it's not meaningfully more complicated. It's just the setup and interface on the way to it. But yeah, the idea of save states when you're in the gold saucer, but specifically when you're doing the arena fights and you're spinning for the next effect, because some effects, well, extreme effects are worth more, and they're worth more the earlier they happen. Like if I lose magic right away, worth way more than if I lose it later on. So being able to use save states to have to do fewer of those fights to get, well, the things I want besides just Omni Slash, but also Omni Slash. Because, of course, that particular spot is the first thing that came to mind with save states is, oh, actually being able to time those and retry. Save states won't fix the inherent rigging of the first Blitzball game in 10. It's rigged against you in the second half. More so than the first. I remember it's profoundly rigged. You can beat it, but it took a lot of work, and since you have to load from the beginning and go through a little bit of plot and then the whole thing again, if I could just, you know, have a save state at halftime, that alone there was a Game Genie or Game Shark way to win the fight, but it bugged things. So I wouldn't use it. Because I didn't want my game buggy. So I beat that fucking game properly. Despite it being rigged. But I never did finish 10. It's another multi-disc thing. That is multiple discs. I have played, if not beaten, all of the first 10 except for 8. 8 I've never played. I could play those, but I don't know if that's quite the right kind of RPG. I mean, there'd certainly be plenty of room for grinding. Grinding up classes. Training materia. Or espers, or skills, depending on the game. But something new to me would be nice. Something I haven't played in ages, and it would be a different kind of thing, but something that I've actually never done. Trying to think of. I'm sure I've got PlayStation, PSX, PS2 games that I haven't actually played, or played very little of, because either mom or dad or both played them, but I just didn't. The Tomb Raider games were mom's. Not that I didn't play a little, but she's the one that played through a bunch of them. That's not really something I'd... Well, those games in particular aren't something I would want to. But there were also RPGs that they got around to and I just didn't. I can pull out the discs and look. I have Dragon Quest VIII that they played a bunch of and I saw, and because I'd never seen the original box art, I'd never seen the Japanese box art, actually, and I didn't remember the US box art. Not that I hadn't seen it, it had just been so long I forgot. But I'd never seen the original Japanese box art, so until I saw the in-game design, I had never realized that Akira Toriyama was involved. But it was clear from the box art, the Japanese box art of the old games, that he'd been involved the whole time. But they were finally presented to me in a way that I could recognize this art in the in-game art. And went, oh, and went and looked online to see the original Japanese box art for the old games and went, oh, that's been there the whole time and I just didn't know. Okay. I see you. So that's technically something related to stuff I've played before that I didn't play myself. I mean, there is tech. It's an old enough game that the controls are profoundly different, not just a little different. So it would be an exception is if I went and tried to actually get through Daggerfall. Because I do have that set up to be able to play it and just have it. Would count as an RPG. The way it's set up is weird. Much of the interface is like Arena, which, for better or worse, but it's character builder. They had some ideas there and added a bunch of skills that didn't exist before or after, including all those languages. Odd. Like, it's an interesting transition point between we're structured more like a tabletop RPG in the rules and roles and randomization, but with one being favored over the rest. Male Dunmer have by far the best stats cumulatively on average and with the bonuses added in than anyone else in Arena. And I had started to do the math on that. I was also, well, I have spreadsheets, plural, for that game that I haven't touched in ages. Because re-rolling 100 of each to get enough data to actually correct the errors in the fucking manual about hit die size. Because things like what gear can be equipped is pretty straightforward to correct. Correcting things like errors in the hit die size and other basic facts, I need enough data to reasonably estimate what it is, but also give ranges for cumulatively stats-wise who's best and worst and etc. So that's a lot of characters to generate and reroll and reroll and reroll and annotate everything for all of them. But yeah, Eldunmer. We have a snowstorm today. Well, it started last night. It's going through for a few more hours. Better part of the day. Depending on how late it stops. We either get to wait until the morning. Well, we'll have until the morning to move our cars to the part of the parking lot that we clear beforehand so that the plow people can come and keep that side clear so that when the storm is done we can move and then they can plow the other side. Of course, the whole rules for this and coordination of it is a fucking shit show, and often profoundly ableist, and there's the ever-present threat of being towed if we don't do it when they want, how they want, whether or not it's the appropriate way to do it. So, I'm gonna have to pay attention to when it stops. Because, despite this shit show that is the way things are supposed to work, sometimes people decide to move prematurely and fuck over everyone else, so then they have to do it too, whether or not they should be. So I get to watch to see when it stops and when the near side is clear so we can move our cars back to where they should be, or dig our cars out and clean them off and move them. So that they can plow the other side of the parking lot. Because we're not supposed to have to do it once it's dark. So if the snow doesn't stop until after dark, then we would have until the morning. Hypothetically. That's the way it's supposed to work. Whether or not it ever actually does, again, sometimes people move prematurely and then the rest of us have to, otherwise we get fucked over. Sometimes people, when they're moving over to the far side of the parking lot, ahead of the onset of snow, they park so badly that not everyone can, and there's no fucking excuse for it when they can see lane lines. Yeah. It's a pain in the ass. Not that having to deal with the practical issues of snow and cars is ever fun, but both asshole neighbors and property manager bullshit, both like to combine in a way that makes it worse for all of us. plow companies in the past have also contributed to that, in that we have gone from snowed in to plowed in because they did not do their job, leaving a 5-foot thick snowbank behind all of our cars, literally plowing us in, and then the property manager's telling us, yeah, no, that's on you to dig yourselves out. No, they didn't do the fucking job you're paying them for. And this is unsafe for us to deal with, even the ones of us that aren't disabled. So yeah, pointing out unsafe conditions does not lessen the ableism. It only means that more of it gets targeted at me specifically. Or I get blamed for situations that I'm reporting. Though, thankfully, the property manager that liked to do that in particularly abusive ways has, well, at least left this property. She's still with the ableist fucking company, probably. So yeah. Not that any of that's legal, but it happens anyway. Fuck landlords. And, ooh, corporate ones. So much more to hate. Corporate landlords with subsidized housing. So it's not like there are options. And even if there were, the waiting list is years. And then you're stuck with another corporate property manager that's not guaranteed to not be just as bad. So, I hate it. here. I will cave and look at how far we've gotten XP-wise when I have to stop and heal. Anyway, so... something that isn't new to me, but has had a handful of, well, besides Minecraft, that has had a handful of updates since the last time I played it, is Stardew. And it seems like they've got another update coming that's gonna have even more changes. So I I'm also debating whether or not to start that up again and see what's changed when there's gonna be even more new stuff whenever 1.6 gets 1.6 happens. I didn't actually look to see when. So eventually, because even when I played through the first 2 years, because that's as long as it took me to get the highest rating from Grandpa. There was still plenty that I hadn't done. So, even without the additional updates and changes. So, yeah. I could at 5. Well, I could at any point heal. I just don't technically need to yet. Not that I need to be stingy about it. But that. Okay. That's more than a third of the way through it. But there was a lot to get through, so. And I have more coughing to do. I haven't really actually had a cough so much as I hacked up phlegm enough to rough up the roof of my mouth and the back of my throat. Um, and thus the lingering irritation from that would lead to a cough. And of course, once you start, then, you know, it only exacerbates. Yeah, I'm just gonna save and exit like this. Mid-process, as I am, because I feel like coughing more and I don't want to, and I should deal with other things, namely, you know, food and drink. And I could just pause the recording, but I may not come back to it, so it's easier to just assume I'm done for now and get back to it when I'm actually in a position to do that. So, yeah, progress was made. Of course we didn't make a level, because I wasn't out there for that long. But we'll get there. And, you know, what does it actually look like for, like, you're the one that's closest to leveling, which is still a ways away. But all of them are are moving towards a cusp point. You're gonna be done with everything except picking your final class, and you're gonna get out of the party. And then they're nearly done with cleric and then get to swap to mage, so important cusp point. And coughing. Talking also exacerbates it, which is why I should be done.